Hey guys, it's the Insane Machine Cody Hawkinz, and you're watching WGS-TV.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on youtube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFXTV. I'm Double B, Billy Boudreaux, being joined by the host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio every Wednesday night on Blog Talk Radio, the illuminous one, the shining star, Rick Starr. Rick, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there, Billy. How you doing after last night?
Well, I'm hanging in there. For those of you who didn't know, I was actually there at Monday Night Raw at the Cajun Dome last night, so this is going to be a very special review for the week of November 26th, 2012. We open up with Ryback taking on Titus O'Neil. Apparently, Ryback smashed Darren Young on Friday Night SmackDown, so we're going to have him do the same thing to Titus O'Neil from the Primetime Players. And it was an okay match. It's the usual Ryback squash match, and that's what we normally see. But now we see Ryback not wanting to leave the ring because he wanted to confront CM Punk about everything that's going on, and the guys, the NXT guys. And during the commercial break, because this is what we saw at the Cajun Dome, they re-aired the ending to the Triple Threat Survivor Series match, where Ryback was attacked by the NXT guys and went through the table. Then they come back from commercial break, and we get the security guys. Now I'm going to hint you guys into something for those of you who religiously follow WGS-TV. And for those of you who do, thank you very much, because I can tell you this, Rick hasn't heard this yet, but I actually, this is a first for me, but I actually met a couple of WGS-TV fans at the Cajun Dome last night. But and I really do appreciate that.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, I've never met fans of me before, so.
Billy, did you get to sign the autographs?
Well, what a banged up thumb, I can't really write, so. But anyway, for those of you who religiously follow WGS-TV and Gulf Coast Wrestling, there were two GCW guys there that were very recognizable: the Down South Samurai Haniel T, and one addictive and expensive Byron Wilcott. Byron Wilcott was a guy who stood up to Ryback and ended up getting thrown over the top rope. Now, from a couple of other vantage points, because the Bayou Boys were also in attendance in the crowd tonight, and from what they told me, it looked like Byron might have tweaked his knee on the outside. It was very hard to tell. But anyway, the whole purpose of the segment was for Ryback to come on out. He was demanding a new match with CM Punk at tables, ladders, and chairs in a TLC environment, and Vicky Guerrero said she would give him the match. Now, from Rick, you brought this up to me. What did you notice?
I noticed that she kind of botched her promo. She says, "I will give you CM Punk at TLC," but she did not actually say, "I will give you a title shot." Now, I don't know if she meant to do that because she was scared and she did that. She shot that intentionally, or if that was a botch.
Oh, yeah, it was hard to tell, but it was still an entertaining way and a very interesting way. But again, I really don't understand why WWE is pushing Ryback so hard for a WWE Championship title reign. I mean, we've seen it at Hell in a Cell. It was, it was understandable at Hell in a Cell. Cena wasn't ready to go, and they needed a suitable replacement, and they were doing a good job pushing Ryback for that. The Triple Threat match, it was kind of, again, Ryback good for making runs at the title, but now a third time, I just don't understand WWE's thinking about this.
I agree. I don't think Ryback is worth a third title shot. I don't think he's, there's so many other people that they could at least give other shots at. Or at least, hey, let's go do a #1 contenders matches, not just, And again, they're making this guy look way too strong, way too powerful, too fast. That's just me. I know that we are minorities, but I don't get it.
4 out of 5 on the opening of Monday Night Raw. Again, I thought it was very entertaining, and the reason why I give it a 4 is because we had the opportunity to see two GCW guys out there in the WWE ring. So kudos to Byron Wilcott, and kudos to the Down South Samurai Haniel T.
You know, again, like I said, kudos to you, the Gulf Coast Wrestling guys. But despite those guys, I'm gonna have to knock it down a few pegs. You know, the primetime player guy. I don't know why that should have been a better match. It should not have been a squash match because he's a big guy.
Yes.
And they really made him look like a wimp.
A chump.
Yeah, they really did, and they did that even again earlier on SmackDown. If you watched it on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And I was really hoping this was going to be a good match, and it didn't really. It turned out to be a crappy match. And they're doing this against everybody, so. I think WWE's really making a big mistake with Ryback.
The second match of the evening featured Alberto Del Rio and the Great Khali. The way this match was set up, for those of you who remember, last week Hornswoggle kind of sprayed some water in Rosa Mendez's face, and I kind of made the comment on Skype last week, since I didn't do a review, that it kind of looked like Rosa was used to taking it in the face. And she was mad at Hornswoggle, and she started, I don't know, saying some stuff in Spanish. Then Alberto Del Rio stepped in, and, Great Khali stepped in behind and told Del Rio to leave his friend alone. And that's how we get this matchup set. Now, Rick, I gotta tell you, as big as the Great Khali appears on TV, he is even bigger in person.
Yeah, now, again, this is another thing I don't get. He's, a big guy, huge guy, again. Another thing I don't get about with the WWE, and I'm going to jump on this one, why do they make the WWE make big guys like him look like a chump? Do you understand that, Billy?
I don't. But I can understand. The only thing I can think of that would be a feasible explanation is the fact that WWE is pushing more heavily into Alberto Del Rio than they are the Great Khali, especially with the feud he still has with Randy Orton, as evident as what happened on Friday Night SmackDown between the two. And I kind of figured you didn't want to look Del Rio. They don't want to make Del Rio look weak in any kind of facet, considering the fact that he is feuding with Orton. So apparently they wanted him to look strong and have him beat the Great Khali.
Yeah,
Honestly, in all purposes, what has the Great Khali done ever since he's come back?
Nothing. Since he's come back, he's lost. And the thing is, he is a big guy, and this is another thing about the lack of balance in the WWE. They make Ryback super huge, unbeatable, impervious to pain. Nobody can, touch him, unless if it's like 3 guys. And then they have this, guys like the Great Khali, who's 7 foot, and everybody in the world from, the Big Show, of course, which is his size, beat him. And then other guys like Alberto Del Rio, who's half his size, and beat him. Does this make sense?
Honestly, no. It doesn't.
There's no balance. It's the reality. It's beyond the scope of reality.
Well, I'm going to give this match a 3 out of 5, Rick.
I agree with you right there.
Next up, we have Michael Cole interviewing Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. We're trying to get some sort of feel into, what they're doing and, what's their purpose in the WWE. And, of course, just like Brad Maddox, they ultimately denied any association with CM Punk and Paul Heyman and the WWE Championship. And what they're saying is, what they're calling themselves is, they're saying they're a shield of injustice. They said if the same thing would have happened to Ryback, if Ryback was the champion for 365 days and CM Punk would have came out and tried to ruin his celebration, they would have intervened on Ryback's behalf. And apparently now we're getting the feel that now we're getting the name of this group. They're going to call themselves the Shield. First off, we got Cody Hawkinz back here on WGS-TV. Cody, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, Bill.
Cody, I want to go to you first. What's your take on the interview with Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, calling themselves now the Shield?
Well, honestly, when you look at it, these guys have been pulling themselves from the bottom of the pot, going through the Indies, going through FCW, and then finally going through NXT. They're pulling a semi-nexus. Most people would say, most would agree. And I feel that these guys, you know, they kind of form themselves up for the same reasons. You know, they're apparently trying to be the lawmakers. You know, they're trying to enforce things that are right and all this whatnot and such which. But when you put it all into perspective, it seems like they're gonna be making themselves known, making them seen and heard. So this so-called shield, I think they're gonna make a bit of maybe not that big of an impact, but they're gonna, like I said, they're gonna make themselves heard, seen, and whatnot.
Rick, your thoughts?
Well, first off, Cody, welcome to the show. And second off, I agree with Cody. I believe that they're definitely trying to make an impact. You know, new guys, that's exactly what you got to do. If you're not going to make yourself seen and heard, especially when you're new, you're going to be forgotten and put on the wayside. It's that simple. But I honestly believe they do have an ulterior motive, and I think they're with CM Punk. That's my thoughts, period. You could just see it right in Dean Ambrose's face. He said, "Oh, no," but you know what? The face tells a million, different stories.
I thought the interview was very well done. I'm going to go 4 out of 5 on this one. Dean Ambrose, great talking skills. So does Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns has just got that feel of, he likes to let his actions do the talking for him.
I want to add one thing.
Sure.
You think that they might have any form of motive with Brad Maddox?
That's a good question.
I didn't think about that.
Might be pulling the strings here. So it's really up in the air. It could be a hit or miss. It could be him. It could be Punk. It could be they're just doing this on their own. But let time be the judge of that.
The next matchup on Monday Night Raw featured the in-ring return of Tamina Snuka as she took on Alicia Fox. Tamina Snuka looked in phenomenal shape. Looked like she hadn't missed a beat. She defeated Alicia Fox. I really can't say anything bad about this other than the fact that, Cody, you and I can pretty much vouch for this since we were there. Exactly no crowd reaction whatsoever.
The only crowd reaction that came up was whenever Tamina went for the Snuka splash.
Yes.
Much. I mean that was pretty much like, that's her dad's trademark. That's Jimmy Snuka's trademark. And she deserves the right to use it. And, you're right, there wasn't a lot of big crowd reaction. Whenever Tamina came out, it wasn't even, it wasn't even an issue. It was just another Divas match that lasted under 5 minutes.
Exactly.
And that's the only problem. The Divas in the WWE are lacking the stamina, if you ask me. It's either that or they're lacking initiative to push themselves further. Take a look back at the Attitude Era. You had some of the baddest divas in pro wrestling there. The World Wrestling Federation has been around for decades. It's a multi-generational organization. You've had the likes of Mae Young, Fabulous Moolah. You had Chyna, the first ever woman to win the Intercontinental Championship, and hold it and keep it for a good while. You had Lita, you had Trish Stratus. There's a good handful of women that were really good competitors, and this right here, to me, I feel it's just an extremely watered down version of what used to be whenever it comes to the female competitors. Honestly, my opinion, ladies, you might look good, but images and everything, there are some factors in pro wrestling that you have to put your body on the line. You have to be able to compete at the top level. It's not just a pretty face issue. Yeah, that gets you over to a certain extent, but your wrestling ability makes everything possible.
Preaching to the choir, huh, Rick?
I agree that the matches need to go. I would agree that the matches need to go longer, but I don't think that's really the case. I don't think it's their stamina. I think it's a fact more of the WWE just won't let them. I think it's more the management won't let them go longer, because if you look over to TNA, we've seen some of those same TNA divas now who are now knockouts who can go 5, 10, even 15 minutes, you know, matches, and they are phenomenal. So I think it's more of management that just won't let them because they just don't want to see it. That's just my personal opinion.
What I meant by stamina was like psychological stamina. You know, get the promoters to get you to like to let you fight in bigger matches.
Okay.
You know, not just you know up against bigger divas, but what I mean by like their prestige, their overall ability.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with you because I think that those matches need to be promoted more, and I think that we only see one match a night. Sometimes if you look over in TNA, we see one match. Sometimes, maybe if we're lucky, 2 matches. But those matches are still great matches.
3.5 out of 5 on this matchup with Tamina Snuka and Alicia Fox. Up next on Monday Night Raw, we get the continuing saga of the John Cena versus AJ Lee scandal that Vicky Guerrero is so desperate to prove. And apparently she wanted to prove it to the point where she actually bought bathrobes, and I'll give Cena a little bit of credit for the crackback. You know, Vicky Guerrero wanted to put the robe on Cena, and Cena backs away and says, oh, I don't know where that robe's been. And then AJ comes out and says, well, she's got to thank Vicky to an extent because now that she's no longer general manager, she can, you know, she can date whoever she wants to, and if she wanted to, she could do this. And let's just say this, I was so close up on that ass grab, I could have sworn that AJ wanted to give John Cena a prostate examination in front of everybody in the Cajun Dome. But let's just say this, you know, as bad as I wanted to be John Cena in that moment last week when AJ was mouth raping him, I kind of wanted to be John Cena in that segment last night as well, too. Is that a sign of how lonely I am? Anyway.
Is that when he was kissing you, or was it given the prostate exam? Just out of curiosity.
I can neither confirm nor deny either of those statements. Then Dolph Ziggler comes out and starts addressing the fact that, you know, when AJ was kissing John Cena, she was really thinking about Dolph Ziggler, and that really sets up what the main event, or one of the featured bouts for the night, John Cena versus Dolph Ziggler. I'm going to give this whole segment a 4 out of 5. My only gripe is when I went to the merchandise stand to actually buy a Dolph Ziggler shirt, they did not have any in my size. So boo to you, WWE. Next up, we had the Intercontinental Champion Kofi Kingston taking on Tensai with Wade Barrett on commentary. Of course, me and Cody couldn't hear the commentary for obvious reasons, but the matchup was actually pretty decent between Kingston and Tensai, wouldn't you say, Rick?
Yeah, it was alright. Unfortunately, you kind of saw it where it was going to go, considering that Wade Barrett was sitting by Wade's side doing the commentary. That's a match I'm definitely looking forward to at TLC.
Definitely. Cody, your thoughts?
Oh, it was actually a really well established match. I mean, it wasn't like the best match I've seen from Kingston. It wasn't the best match I've seen from Tensai because as of late, if you noticed in most of the Raw shows, I mean, especially at the last pay-per-view, Tensai had a tendency of botching moves. You know, so it was better executed than what he's been doing, but it still wasn't his best match.
Well, it was an unusual finish. I've never seen the Trouble in Paradise performed on the outside in to the ring, and then the crossbody, the springboard crossbody. That was a thing of beauty to see in person. I'll tell you that. Kofi Kingston, man, he has some depth and hang time on those springboard moves that he does. That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, not to mark off of a move name, but that was truly poetry in motion.
Definitely. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 on this one. Now, earlier in the night, we had a Raw Active poll, which featured who was going to be CM Punk's opponent. Would it be Daniel Bryan, or would it be Kane? And, of course, we had to have a little segment where I think Daniel Bryan and Kane were kind of mocking the presidential elections, in a sense, with the Daniel Bryan's empirical data or something like that, to that extent, where all the states were blue who were voted for Daniel Bryan and there were no red states. And then we get the results that 51 to 49% preferred Kane to Daniel Bryan. It was still a very close vote, but Kane apparently comes out on top. And then we also got the announcement that Daniel Bryan was going to be in a match, first time ever, with Rey Mysterio. Great match with Mysterio and Bryan. I was very entertained. A lot of great stuff from these guys. I can't say anything really bad about it, Cody.
No, me neither. Honestly, those two are very high impact, high intensity, star-studded superstars. I mean, Ray's got the most experience amongst the two. I mean, Ray's been there since, the early days of Mexico, the prime of WCW and ECW, moving into WWE. So he's got the experience. I mean, yeah, he's getting up in age, but he still has what it takes to create a 5-star match.
Definitely. Rick, would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Just like Cody says, Ray's getting to that age where he's almost to the point where he's about to retire, but he can still pull off an excellent match. But he can still show, make other wrestlers, like Daniel Bryan shine. And Daniel himself is a great wrestler. He himself can, pull off just about any move from submissions to high impacting moves. So it was a great match itself to watch. I have to give it at least a 4.5 out of 5 match.
And that's exactly what I'm going to be giving it, a 4.5 out of 5. Next
up,
up,
I'll agree on that situation with Daniel Bryan because he too has been through a lot, though. I mean, like his indie days. His indie days going through IWA, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, his prime at Ring of Honor, then leading up to his WWE career. Amazing performances, outstanding ability. He's going against some of the world's greatest superstars in a matter of 10 years. I mean, he took on some of Japan's greatest, and I got to give Bryan his props. I mean, it's just amazing to see those two in the ring.
Which is currently one of the reasons why I'm wearing Daniel Bryan's No t-shirt right now.
I'm wearing a Ryback shirt, so yeah.
Next up, we had John Cena versus Dolph Ziggler. Easily considered the match of the night. I mean, the most crowd reaction, the most entertaining, and the most physically impressive match I've seen with Cena and Ziggler. I mean, this was absolutely a great match. I loved both Cena and Ziggler in this one, and it was just by far a very entertaining. It was like the biggest crowd reactions out of everything, even from what was still yet to come, was from Cena and the Ziggler match. Wouldn't you say, Cody?
Get into the janitor's closet. You will find what you need in there.
Yeah, I will agree. I mean, that was a very, very well done match. Well done. I mean, that right there, that match, to me, pay-per-view quality,
Oh, yeah.
It's an amazing match. I mean, I was able to see Cena after the show. We were eating at Mel's Diner in Lafayette on Johnson Street. And Cena goes there every time after a show in Lafayette, and I chat with him. I told him really good match, man. He looked extremely exhausted. I had a photo op with him and everything. I mean, he seems like a real laid back guy. He loves the business, no doubt about it. So I got to meet him in person. It was a really great experience. I complimented him on his match. I was like, I told him, dude, you gotta be sore as hell right now. He's like, kid, you have no idea.
How is it that I always miss these opportunities when the WWE's in town? I just don't know. But anyway, Rick, what are your thoughts about Cena and Ziggler?
Well, I thought the match itself was a good match. There's an issue I do want to talk about, and I will be bringing it up during Wednesday night during my show, which will be at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, Blog Talk Radio. Thanks for the plug earlier, Billy. But if you noticed, it was later on during the match, Cena went to do the five knuckle shuckle punch, and he went just do a little quick a little step, and he sidestepped and he tweaked his ankle again.
I noticed that.
It didn't even look like he really stepped. I swear, I'm not sure if that angle was kayfabed or whatever it was, so he could just roll out of the ring, so it could bring in AJ and Vicky. What are your thoughts, guys?
It called a good spot. I think that was a real good spot to call, if it was truly a spot, because it seemed like he dragged his foot on the side of Ziggler's neck on the way to the ropes, trying to perform the 5-knuckle shuffle. Good spot call. You know, I don't know if it's kayfabe or not. Now, I mean, whether it was kayfabe or not, it still measured out the match very well.
Yes, I gotta agree with that.
Yeah. Now, one last thing is I did want to talk about earlier is with the whole AJ, Cena, and Ziggler thing. I still think that eventually, somewhere down the line, we're going to see AJ turn and go with Dolph Ziggler because it's going to go with the whole T-shirt. I'm stealing the spotlight and your girlfriend. Call me crazy.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give the match a 5 out of 5. I was very entertained. It was a very great match with Cena and Ziggler. Next up, we had Sheamus taking on the United States Champion Antonio Cesaro. Now, you want to talk about a match where not only Sheamus shined, but Antonio Cesaro shined? It was this match right here. I mean, Antonio Cesaro looked really, really good and really strong in this match, despite the fact that he lost to Sheamus, but it was still a very great match. Antonio Cesaro looked really well. In one of my favorite spots, Sheamus was going for the top rope battering ram, and Cesaro counters it with the European uppercut on the way down. Cody, that was indeed a really great spot in the match.
Yeah, that was a sickening thud I heard from that launch. That was kind of like knock your wind out. You know, I know Sheamus had to be hurting from that mid-air European uppercut. I mean, I know
you can't just hide from that.
Because normally he just throws into this big body press lift into that uppercut, but that was a great modify.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Sheamus really made Cesaro look good in that match. I mean,
they gave each other like immense loads of heat to each other. There was a lot of heat in that match.
I mean, Rick, what were your thoughts about Sheamus and Antonio Cesaro?
I honestly, for a second, I thought Cesaro was going to get the win. He was about to go for his finisher. Then, of course, Sheamus, countered. Then went for the quick bro kick. We heard Big Show come out his music, but he still got the 3 count. No, I'm sorry. He bro kicked him out of the ring. Then once you heard the ref start doing the count, you knew what was going to happen. So he didn't get the clean 1, 2, 3, but it was a ring out. So both men kind of get the, all right, it's a ring out. You lose by ring out, but you don't get the pin. A ring out always kind of makes the other guy, both men look somewhat decent. So
we also get a promo following that count out from Sheamus to lead up into the chairs match, where Sheamus was saying, well, Big Show, you think I'm barbaric? Wait till you see it when it happens when I get a chair in my hand. And Big Show goes on to destroy the chair that he came out with. I guess a kind of an example of what he can do to a chair. So again, I thought that was a pretty good, decent promo to build into their matchup at TLC for their the chairs match for the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah, but you know what though? Nobody's seen it, but how barbaric you are when you get a chair in your hand, huh, Billy?
Yeah. Well, very funny, Rick. They're just not going to let it down, and so I'm pretty sure Nick Bondage wouldn't let it down either. Next up, we got Damien Sandow, and I don't know if they showed this on TV when they caged them. They still put over the fact that Wednesday night on main event is going to be Damien Sandow versus John Cena. That should be a good match. But tonight we had Damien Sandow, or last night rather, Damien Sandow and Zack Ryder. I kind of figured Sandow was going to go over, but Ryder came out with new merch, with new ring gear. Cody, it looked like Zack Ryder was a big fan of the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I know, right? It was actually some pretty cool looking gear.
Yeah, I can imagine that's WWE's way to, I guess, come up with new merchandise for Zack Ryder for them to sell.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they've got enough broski headbands and you know with shirts out the wazoo. I mean, it's starting to get old. They need to come up with new merchandise, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, but after a great match with Sheamus and Antonio Cesaro, Sandow and Zack Ryder, to me, Rick, it felt a little bit like a letdown almost.
Yeah, a little bit of a letdown. It just, the only thing that was really interesting in that match was, I mean, it was me and my fiance and my father-in-law went to the show, and then my buddy Justin and his girlfriend were 3 rows up. I got them tickets. It was an early Christmas gift. But anyway, I mean, I heard it from a mile away. And the moment that Broski boot spot came around, that whole section I was sitting in went at it. It wasn't a legitimate Broski boot, but it was pretty damn close.
Oh yeah, definitely. Rick, what are you about? What were your thoughts for Sandow and Ryder?
Well, for one thing, when I saw the new gear, I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, you've got to be kidding me! The Ghostbusters thing. I kind of thought he was kind of heading in the wrong direction.
Yeah, he was going to
I
the
always
80s.
thought that if Zack Ryder really wants to wants to get his career going in a new direction, he needs to kind of drop the whole Zack Ryder gimmick. That's just me. But I don't know if anybody's going to be buying the Ghostbusters things. The match itself I thought was great. I am a Damien Sandow fan. I like his character. I like his gimmick. I also like his wrestling skills. So I don't see him beating John Cena, unless if by some reason we see a run-in by Dolph Ziggler.
Possible. That's possible. 3.5 out of 5 on this match. And then we have the main event, the WWE Champion CM Punk taking on one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions, Kane. Now, I'm going to say this, though, for those of you who have yet to go to a WWE event and actually experience this live. Kane's pyro can take you by surprise, in a sense. I mean, Kane's pyro can make your heart skip a beat if you're not paying attention, right, Cody?
Yeah, I can say that, because, I mean, not to mention, like, whenever I was over there, the first match of Monday Night Raw was Titus O'Neil and Ryback, and even Ryback's pyros, even though they were in the back of the stage, like the Big Bang, whenever he's on the stage and whenever he's in the ring, it's a bit of it's like it kind of throws you off a little because it's so loud. But Kane's, it's like, light travels faster than sound, so the first thing you see is a really bright light before the flames start going up on the stage, and then you hear the Big Bang. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, exactly. And let's just say this: his pyro from when he's in the ring. I could have put a couple of hot dog wieners and some marshmallows, and I could have had me like a little campfire roast, because you actually feel the heat. I was like 8 or 9 rows behind Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler, and you can actually feel the heat from the pyro just from out there. I mean, it was that hot.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the match goes, I was thoroughly entertained. I mean, I am a CM Punk fan, despite what a lot of people will say, because I'm a fan of his work. Great. He's great on the mic skills. He's got great in-ring ability, no matter what anybody else says. I think he's a phenomenal wrestler. That's why I'm a fan of his. I'm also a fan of Kane. Kane is a great guy, too, in the ring. And here's the thing, though, I noticed the camera people were kind of behind me. And that led me to believe that something was about to happen. And, of course, it did happen, because right behind the camera people, out come the Shield. The Shield was there, and it came through the crowd. And Roman Reigns is a big dude. I'm going to tell you that. Roman Reigns is cut. But, he came out for a distraction. Kane was about to finish off CM Punk with a tombstone. And then, I don't know if it was the fact that his knee gave out or he noticed the Shield was there, but he drops CM Punk, and then CM Punk picks up Kane and hits the go to sleep and gets the 1, 2, 3, and then the Shield jumps the guardrail, gets into the ring, starts attacking Kane, and then Daniel Bryan comes out to try to help his tag team partner, and he gets a 3-on-1 beatdown for his troubles, and then out comes Ryback to try to make the save, you know, and it looks like he was going to do it at first. He was beating him down, and then out of nowhere, you know, CM Punk makes a distraction, and then the Shield jumps all over Ryback, and the show ends with Ryback getting beat down. After the cameras go off the air, because Rick doesn't know this, no dark matches for Monday Night Raw, but they did give Ryback a chance for him to get up, recover, and say that this isn't over, not by a long shot, and they let Ryback lead to his music and everything like that. But again, I thought it was a great main event. I'm going to go 4.5 out of 5 on this one here. I want to give my overall thoughts first, and I'm going to go to you guys next for your overall thoughts. Overall thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week, and score, it's going to get a 4.5 out of 5 for me. The Ryback title O'Neil match was okay, and again, kudos to Byron Wilcott and Daniel T. Alberto Del...
Rest of Wildcat Wrestling.
I'm sorry?
The rest of those guys, you know, Luke Hawks was there.
He was there? Okay.
Those guys are from Wildcat here in Louisiana.
Yeah, I'm not too. I don't follow Wildcats too much because we don't don't have it aired over here too much. But
it's mainly New Orleans,
yeah.
Mississippi.
But Alberto Del Rio and the Great Khali, I thought it was okay, and of course we had the interview that was aired twice on Monday Night Raw with the Shield. I don't understand why WWE would figure, you know, hey, we're going to air the same interview twice. I just don't understand why they would think that would be a necessity. Tamina Snuka and Alicia Fox, again, it was good to see Tamina Snuka back in the ring. Again, I really wanted to be John Cena, especially at that moment when he gets anally grabbed, if you know what I mean. Kofi Kingston and Tensai was okay. Rey Mysterio and Daniel Bryan, I thought it was a great match. Cena versus Ziggler was a phenomenal match. Probably best match of the night, in my opinion. Sheamus and Antonio Cesaro was a great match, and the promo after the matchup was great. It was greatly timed. Sandow versus Ryder felt a little bit like a letdown, and Ryder is going back to the 1980s. You know, who you going to call? And CM Punk and Kane was a great match, but it's kind of looking like the Shield is the Shield of CM Punk, if you kind of get what I'm saying. So it was still a great Monday Night Raw. 4.5 out of 5 for me. Cody Hawkinz, what was your overall score and thoughts on Monday Night Raw?
I mean, my overall score, I'd have to give it about a damn near 5 out of 5. You know, for all the matches that were there, the promos were great, well-established show. You know, I mean, it's starting to pick back up. You know, I'm really glad to see that Raw is moving up whenever it comes to their storylines, whenever it comes to their
Victor has the darkness in the siphon.
superstars, whenever it comes to their caliber of matches. You know, keep up the great work.
So what we want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Guys and gals, don't forget this Sunday right here on WGS-TV, the Zero Gravity Championship is going to be on the line in a ladder match, and one Cody Hawkinz is going to be involved in that match. Cody, what do the fans have to look forward to in this match coming up this Sunday?
Well, all I can say is look forward to a lot of ladder work, a lot of pain from all 4 superstars, including myself from GCW. You know, and I mean, you're going to look at 2 great returns. You know, you're going to be looking at, you know, a lot of great action.
So again, look forward to that this Sunday on WGS-TV. And please don't forget to subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So for the Insane Machine, Cody Hawkinz, and the Illuminous One, the Shining Star, Rick Starr, I'm Double B, Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.
For all the good it did him.
Hi, I'm Chris Master 1, and you've been watching WGS-TV on YouTube. Be sure and check out the Friday Night Renegade show every Friday from 10 to midnight Eastern, only on GCSUradio.com. And remember, keep on rocking, folks. Oh, check out my YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/ChrisMaster1. We'll see you on the next episode of WGS-TV.